want to be Indiana's next governor squared off again in their second and final debate. Republican Governor Eric Holcomb hoping to keep his job, while Democrat Dr. Woody Myers and Libertarian Donald Rainwater want to unseat him. It was again the last chance for each of them to appeal to voters, did they? Joining me live, Laura Merrifield Wilson, Associate Professor of Political Science at UIndy. Laura, nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
It's a lot of the same, but again, the final push here to kind of have that last, what they want to leave you with. What were you left with as you watched last night?
Well, I do think this debate did a great job of showcasing the differences of the candidates. And we certainly saw that in the first gubernatorial debate, but they talked about issues in terms of daylight savings time, some economic issues that you didn't get to address in the first one. And I thought you also saw a real showcasing in the diversity of candidates. One of these three men will be leading Indiana in the next 4 years. And you certainly saw how each of those candidates was different in what they stand for, the policies that they promote, and how they would lead Indiana in very different ways.
And a big part of that is we're looking at video, COVID testing, COVID mask mandates, COVID lockdowns, a lot of discussion still obviously about one of the, if not the most important issue, at least dealing with the economy as well. Did you have a takeaway of anything else that you saw last night?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, COVID really dominated the conversation, especially in the first part of the debate. But I thought they got into some interesting discussions, probably arguments, as we say in a debate, in terms of the role of government. And this is one of the things where you saw Libertarian Donald Rainwater really stand out, kind of in opposition for both Myers as the Democrat and Holcomb as the Republican, this question of what government's role should be. And that kind of came up in every discussion. But I found it to be very informative. I know some people might say it wasn't as exciting and entertaining as some of the presidential debates, but there was a lot of information. It was really educational for getting a sense of what the candidates are, what they stand for. And again, one of these men will be leading Indiana. So even if it's not the person you vote for, you want to understand what they'll be doing in the next 4 years.
Absolutely. I think you hit that. It was really about substance, where you're able to clearly hear the differences and just how different each candidate is and what they would bring to the table.